All right, hi you guys. My name is Nurse Nina. I am a nurse educator. I'm a nurse motivator. I'm a nursing school enhancer. I do a lot of stuff, and I'm a certified nurse consultant. I still work the bedside as a registered nurse also because I love patient care. But mostly I love educating. I love motivating CNAs, LVNs, RNs to just get to the next level. And I help them do this in many different ways, okay? But today we're going to talk about the CNA-to-LVN program, process, application, how you can meet requirements, because I'm getting a lot of CNAs reaching out to me. They want to do the program. They want to do the Method 3 process. If they do this independently by themselves, however you do it, I want to explain to you the rules and the requirements, okay? Because a lot of you guys are reaching out to me and you don't meet the requirements, okay? So don't get mad at me. I'm just trying to save you time and energy and stress, okay? I did this myself about 12 years ago. Been helping CNAs and dropout RN students and dropout LVN students that maybe got kicked out their program or whatever, something happened, right? Helping them get back into practice by using this as an alternative pathway. If you are in an LVN program or RN program, whatever, this is nothing to drop out your program for. Okay, this can lead to a license a little bit faster for people that can use this as an alternative. Okay, this is an alternative. If you can go to LVN school, you can get in, you can afford it, go for it, okay? That's the way to go. This is an alternative. This alternative for people like me who I was working a lot. I couldn't afford to go to a private school at that time. I couldn't get into the junior colleges. I did all the prereqs. I was applying for years and years and years and never got in. I had a bunch of kids. I have 6 kids. And it was just very hard for me to get into a program that met my time that I could afford, for one, and that I could go to in the time frame that I could go to, because I had to work, right? I had to work 2 jobs. So it was really hard. So I'm just grateful that California even has this process. I'm grateful that somebody told me about it like 14 years ago, and I was able to get through it 12 years ago. So I was just so grateful for the opportunities that it blessed me with, that I blessed other people with this opportunity by teaching them the process, okay? So this is a real thing. You guys don't believe me. You can go to the California Board of Vocational Nursing. The information is there, okay? It's been there for years, all right? Thank God they still have this, because this is a really good alternative for people who, like I said, cannot afford to go to a private school or cannot get into a junior college or a regular school. That I was one of those people, okay? And there's a whole bunch more of those people who looking to level up, but they can't afford it. And they need to go to work. They need to take care of their family. So, I get it. All right, y'all. So let me get to it. I'm just running my mouth. All right. So this is a CNA-to-LVN program. I think it might be. I hope it's not backwards. I don't know. Let me turn. Hopefully y'all can see it. Okay. If y'all can't, just message me. All right. But you should be able to hear and understand the requirements. All right. So this is California Method 3 process. Again, anybody can do this in any state. Okay. They accept you. They don't care where you come from, okay? You come from New York, New Hampshire, the Philippines. They don't care, okay? They just want you to meet the requirements. If you can meet the requirements, you can do this process, okay? So you have to have 51 months of paid bedside work experience. When they say 51 months of that paid bedside experience, they're looking for full-time work, okay? So looking about a cumulative about 7,500 hours, okay? If you don't have the 7,500 hours in that 51 months of paid bedside experience, because maybe you worked part-time, right? Like I had worked part-time, so I didn't understand this part. That's how I know all this stuff, because I went through all of it, okay, myself. I got rejected a whole bunch of times. And so that's how I figured all this stuff out. So I got the blueprint, okay? And this is over 10 years of experience of doing this, all right? So let's say you worked part-time. You worked for 51 months, but you worked part-time. You don't have that 7,500 hours because you was only working 2 or 3 days a week. You have to get to that amount of hours, okay? Because the board says once you reach this amount of hours, or you've worked 51 months full-time, okay, full-time in a healthcare setting, we'll get to the settings. They say that you had developed some of these skills that LVN, okay, coming out of a program brand new, no experience, that you have those equivalent skills, okay? It's not saying that you went to an LVN program and you picked up all these LVN program skills. It's saying that you have seen enough as a CNA, equivalency, your experience is equivalent to a new LVN coming out of school, okay? That's what it means. And that's why you're able to do this process, because they're taking your experience and they're giving you credit for it. Just like I did my BSN program, just like the MSN program, our programs is the same thing. They use equivalency. So these colleges, they give nurses hours, experience, to where we can go take a test and we can test out a whole class because we have the work experience. We've been working in that field. We've been working in that area. We've been working with that population of people. Okay, as long as you know your stuff and you can pass the test, you can move on. All right, same concept. So that's the 51 months of paid bedside work experience. Okay, there's different settings. Okay, so there's one thing for us hospital settings. There's another thing for us nursing care duty that you do. All right. So these are some of the settings that they will accept that you work in, okay? A hospital, all right? A subacute facility, corrections, long-term care, rehabilitation centers, assisted living. There's multiple categories that they will accept. What they will not accept, I want you to know, is they won't accept if you work in home health, okay? This was new to me not too long ago because I've had processed other students that worked in home health. They're not accepting it anymore, okay? So there's a lot of updates. That's why it makes a big difference to reach out to a coach that specializes in this process, has been doing it, that keeps up with the updates, okay? And that's something that I do because I really like doing this, okay? I'm at the board all the time asking them questions. They know me and my family, okay? We always up there. I live close by there. So they will not accept home health, okay? So you guys know that. So if you're a CNA and you're a home health aide together, you have both licenses, but you're working as home health aide, they won't take that experience. So I'm sorry. You have to only submit your CNA work experience. I don't know why, okay? They won't take it anymore. Also registry, okay? If you guys work in registry, okay? I keep telling people, please, if you're a CNA, I know I worked registry too. If you are considering using your experience for the Method 3 process, you need to find a regular job, okay? They will not accept registry anymore, all right? I'm sorry. I'm trying. I'm trying to get it approved for y'all, but they say no, okay? I'm always advocating for all my students. The next thing you need is 240 hours working in pediatrics and then 240 hours working in maternity or OB, all right? If you worked in the ER, ICU, you floated to peds, you were a sitter, safety attendant, whatever, you can use those hours, okay? You can use those hours. I have a whole print book and ebook on TikTok shop. If you guys are curious, you want to do this on your own, you don't want to do the program, everything, the blueprint is in that book, okay? It's a really good book. I spend a lot of time on it, a lot of energy because I get so many people reaching out to me, asking me these questions, but they don't want to do the program, okay? So that book gives you straight to the point. It has a lot of value in there, and I give you the 54-hour pharmacology class in that book also, okay? All right, the next thing you need is the paperwork approval, okay? You need your HR and your RN manager or supervisor to sign off that paperwork stating that you got those hours. You worked in that facility, you did those hours, and you have gained those skills, okay? And then that based on the type of nursing that you do, okay? Again, all this information is in that book. Okay, you guys can join our Skool community. There's an information session there too. That's recorded. I'm on there live every Thursday. I won't be there every Thursday. It'll be on the calendar because the holidays are coming up. But majority of every Thursday I'm there. All right, so this is the breakdown where I want to go through everybody that keeps calling me saying, I took the class, I'm ready to go, Miss Nita, I got all my stuff. And you don't, okay? So anybody can apply for this, okay? Anybody, anywhere in the world can apply, but you have to meet the requirements. The biggest takeaway I want y'all to know is that 54-hour pharmacology class is only 5% of the process, okay? That's why I give it away free. I give it away free to my Skool community members, okay? You just pay for your transcript. The high school diploma, live scan, hard copy, that's 5% of the process. Then you need to get your work experience, your HR letter, your documentation. You need to show 4 years or more work experience. Remember I said those hours? That's 75% of the process. Then you need to show that pediatrics, maternity. You can do this from the 240 hours, or you can do a transcript from an LVN program. That's about 15% of the process. So I want you guys to know, take away the biggest, what you need to pay for is somebody to either help you with this paperwork or you need to spend time doing that. Okay? That's the biggest part of Method 3. All right, you guys, I hope I helped y'all. I have an information session coming up live I'll link it here from Eventbrite. Tap into my Skool community if you guys need to ask more questions. Bye.